Hey YouTube, this is Jaden Storm coming at you with a new deck profile from set 12, and this deck profile is going to be my Wolffang Liberator Garmore deck. My deck might have a little bit of a different take than you normally would. This is how I would play it right now. There will be another version of this deck. I was talking to my good friend Ryan the other day through text messaging, and he asked me a question, and I told him, well, I was kind of having the same idea. I'm not going to spoil anything because I'm still working on the idea in my head a little bit, but I think Garmore is a very, very good card. I just think it's weird because you have to know how to use this card. It is a very tricky card because there's really not a right or wrong way to play it, and that's sometimes what makes it yeah. I know that sounds very confusing, but once I get the idea more wrapped around in my head, I will bring it to you, and we'll see what you guys think. So anyway, guys, let's get into this deck profile right now. This is how I would play Wolffang Liberator Garmore if I was going to be playing the deck today. So, one second, guys. I've got to split that up properly. So, okay. Here we go. For the starter, I'm playing Liberator Cheer Up Trumpeter. Her ability is, put this, when a Gold Paladin Grade 1 rides her, you can slide her out like normal. And then her other ability is, move her to the soul. Choose your Vanguard with Liberator in its card name, and until the end of that turn, this unit gets this ability. When your Gold Paladin is placed on rearguard from your deck, this unit receives plus 3,000 power. So you move it into the soul, and every rearguard that is called to the rearguard from your deck that turn, your Vanguard will receive 3,000 power for that turn. So with Garmore's ability, he can gain an additional 15,000 power that turn, which cleans up the not having a break ride, because in Garmore you can play break rides. It's just not your best option in my opinion. That's if you would like to prove me wrong. I'd welcome to see a deck profile with Garmores with break rides. That I haven't seen one that I liked so far. So if you have seen one, send me a link to it or send me a link to yours that you've done, and I'll be happy to look at it. And you might prove me wrong, but I do not think this deck needs it. That's just my opinion. Triggers, we're playing 4 Epina and 4 Strike Liberator for 8 crit. 4 Gwydion for 4 draw trigger, and 4 Elixir for heal triggers. Grade 1s, we play 4 Halo Liberator Mark, Perfect Guards. In this meta, you need 4 Perfect Guards, guys. I don't care what you say. 4 Little Liberator Marin. It's a 10k attacker when we have a Liberator Vanguard. So it serves as a good attack early game, or if you need an attacker late game, it's always there for you. So it's a good card overall. 3 copies of Fast Chase Liberator Josephus. This is an amazing card to play in this deck because if it's called out of the deck with Garmore, or any other way that you can, it is you may Soul Blast a Liberator from your soul and draw a free card. So always good. I am teching 2 Barkgall Liberator. So that tells you in my grade 2s I still play Blaster Blade. This is I've seen a lot of people that take out Blaster Blade completely in this deck, and that is your choice, but I still like Blaster Blade as a card. I think he can still serve as a great end-game piece that you could need if your opponent needs that intercept in order to survive. That's why I still like this card, because I also like his ability, because if you have a Blaster Blade in front of him, it's going to apply pressure. And his ability is, when an attack hits a Vanguard during a battle that this unit boosted Blaster Blade Liberator, look at the top 3 cards from the top of your deck and search for up to 1 card with Liberator in its card name from among them and call it to a rear guard at rest, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So, and it doesn't have to be an open rear guard. He can call it anywhere. It just has to be called as rest. So I'm playtesting 2 of these, and depending on how well it turns out, it might go up. And then 2 copies of Future Liberator Luar, 10k booster for Liberators. He gets his ability if you have 3 or more Liberators other than himself, so keep that in mind. Grade 2s, 3 Blaster Blade Liberators. Part of the reason that I probably do play Blaster Blade in this deck is I'm fortunate enough to have, if you can see, that is 3 SP Blaster Blade Liberators. I was fortunate enough to get a hold of 3, all from opening packs. I didn't purchase any of these. That's probably why I still play this card in the deck, and also because the Blaster Blade is probably my favorite card, along with Majesty Lord Blaster and Blaster Dark, just that little trio right there, so that's probably why I still play these as much as I possibly can. I still think this is a good card, and, you know, Blaster Blade Liberator is pretty simple. If he's wrote as the Vanguard or called to a rear guard, you may counterblast to and pop a unit in the front row. I think when he gets his Dorant, like I mentioned in my Revenger deck profile, he gets a version of Dorant like Blaster Dark has, where if Blaster Blade's called in front of it, he gets to unflip a damage, which will make him so much better. But still, I still think this has its place in Garmore decks. Would I play it at 4? Heck no. 4. Liberator of Royalty Fallon. This is our 12k attacker for Liberators. So, nothing much more to say. It's a good card. And then 4 copies of Overcast Liberator Geraint. I like this card because if it is called out of the deck, it will gain, when it's on the rear guard, when it's on the rear guard, he gains 3,000 power every time a unit is called out of the deck. So if you do call him, say, as the first card with Garmore's Limit Break, it's just going to get bigger. He'll gain a total of 12,000 power, so he is a good card. You don't have to play him. I'm just test playing him right now. If I don't like how he is, I'll just put the regular grade 2s that I use for my Liberators in here. That was just, right now, I haven't even played with this deck yet. I literally just put it together as the best way that I think it would look, and after I do some playtesting with it, I'll probably update it. Grade 3s, we play 4 Wolffang Liberator Garmore. So, I already gave you my thoughts on this card, but here I'll read you the skill. His ability is Limit Break. His special counterblast 3 Liberators. Look at the top card of your deck and search for up to 1 gold paladin among them. Call it to an open rear guard and put the rest on the bottom of your deck. If you called and you have an open rear guard, repeat this effect without paying the cost. Pretty much what this is for a counterblast of 3 Liberators, so a special counterblast 3, you get to continue to call cards off the top of your deck until your field is completely full. But you must superior call the one that you pull. If you reveal a card and you don't like it, you can put it on the bottom of your deck, but that makes his ability stop. So if you call triggers or a grade 3, you're just going to have to live with it. But Garmore's second ability does help you out a little bit. Its ability is only a Vanguard skill, keep in mind. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost, which is choosing one of your Liberator rear guards and putting it on the bottom of your deck, and he receives plus 4,000 power for the rest of that turn. So it's an auto ability when he swings. So it's a very good skill, so if you do call a trigger or an extra grade 3 that you can't do nothing with because your front rows are full, you can just call another unit, and you can just use that unit to put at the bottom of your deck to fuel Garmore, so it's not a complete loss. And then we play 3 copies of Liberator of the Round Table Alfred. These two, in my opinion, go in the deck better than a Break Ride and Garmore would be, as opposed to Alfred in the Break Ride, which is a dangerous combo. But you want to ride into Garmore first. That's why I play 4 Garmores and only 3 Alfred. I do not think this deck needs 8 grade 3s, but the reason I play 4 Garmore is so you're more likely to ride Garmore, and then after you've used your counterblast and you've filled up your field, you can ride into Alfred, and with Alfred's Limit Break, he will always swing at least with 21, plus whatever's boosting him, and you'll have a full field, and you can apply then just straight pressure until you can end the game. That's how I would play this deck, so I think this is the best grade 3 lineup that you could play in one of these decks. That's just my opinion. This deck, I'd be really interested to hear your take. Oh, and just for argument's sake, I'll read Alfred here real quick. His ability is Limit Break. During your turn, this unit gets plus 2,000 for each rear guard you have with Liberator in its card name. And then its second ability is E-Special Counterblast 2, Liberators. Look at the top card of your deck and search for 1 gold paladin from among them and call it to a rear guard, to an open rear guard, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So, you know, like I said, I would ride into Garmore first, get your field full, use his Fellowship Circle ability, which is what they call it in the show, where you keep calling off the top of your deck until your field's full, and then ride into Alfred to finish the game. Or if you just want to use Alfred as a caller, you can do that too, but that's just how I'd play it. But anyway, guys, this has been my Wolfang Liberator Garmore deck. In the comment section below, feel free to give me any and all suggestions. I'm always happy to hear what you have to say. I think it's a good deck. I'm going to give it a shot, and when I get some playtesting in it, I will either make some changes or I'll keep it. I don't know yet. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, thumbs up. Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you later.